So I realized that I had not turned on atmospheric scaling, so I just shut the game down real quick to reboot and turn that back on, so now we're good.
No one really believe that.
See if I can beat this guy up.
He really should.
Methinks I'm. What? That's a.
I've been. Oh my God! Parry then. Don't stop now.
Let him have it.
Watch out!
Go ahead,
that
hit
hurt.
back.
Parry then.
And so right now, like, jeez, you see what I mean? It's like, I'm doing good, and then instant failure. And that is incredibly frustrating.
Nobody wants to know.
What do you want?
And meanwhile, the music isn't playing.
Methinks. What? That's a.
I've been. Oh my God!
Whereas I need
Don't stop now.
a crit to be able to do any semblance of damage to him.
Finish him.
Whereas for him, a crit is
Don't
enough to
stop
just
now.
kill me.
Finish him.
Let him have it.
Let that be a lesson to him.
Come on. I know I can beat this guy.
Nobody wants to know.
What do you want? These.
I had him so close that one time.
What?
That's exactly.
I've been.
Ah,
Defend yourself.
Don't stop now. Watch out. Parry then.
Ouch. That hurt.
Don't stop now. Don't stop now.
Let him have it.
Finish him. Finish
Show
him.
Show him.
Not
there
bad.
we go. That was a little bit gamey. I just kind of stood there and block, sideswipe, but I got the job done. Let me save before the game, or before I forget, before the game forgets, and before I lose that progress.
Same old thing all over again.
Been there, done
I'm gonna
that.
run off here just a short ways and see if I can get the
Couldn't get away with
music to turn back on again.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, like right as soon as I crossed out of the mercenary camp zone, music kicked back on again.
Nothing will ever change.
It's almost like I'm somehow skipping
I couldn't care less.
something in the game engine that's supposed to turn music on.
All right, you win. What do you want?
It's his decision, wasn't it?
I'd like to become a mercenary here. Do you mind?
Do whatever you want.
Nobody wants to know.
Alright, I think that's probably enough to be able to join the mercenaries, except for needing to do like a task from Torloff and or Lee. That is to say, I think I've beat up enough mercenaries to meet sort of the minimum requirements, apart from doing the main quest. There's still a couple more that I could fight, but they would be way too strong for me to fight. Where was Gunnar? Did he go to sleep? Where was he? There was another farmer here. There was a named farmer here. There's Rod. I don't think I haven't talked to him yet. Oh, here's Gunnar.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, simple. I could maybe steal that. I've tried.
You miserable
Yeah.
little thief.
I have failed every attempt to pick a simple pocket.
Don't say you
The
didn't know
things I
that.
could tell you.
Wait a minute. Yeah, this is the save. Not that I did much, but
Wait a minute. What's up?
Since Onar announced he was hiring mercenaries, the court's been overflowing with nothing but rogues. All the rabble who didn't have the guts to come out of the woods before are here now. The bastards really came from everywhere.
The mercenaries came from everywhere?
Most of them came from the penal colony. Another group of mercenaries came from the south, where they were probably hunting orcs. I bet that a few of the bandits from the mountains have shown up as well by now to get a free meal. Huh.
That was quite obvious.
Okay.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Here's Rod.
There, done that.
Agree with you.
Once again, the music has not turned on.
That was no big deal.
Hold a sword.
How are things?
What do you want from me, weenie?
He called me weenie.
He really
How's it?
That's none of your...
I'm staying out of it.
I am.
Nonsense. You couldn't even live.
So I think to get this guy's approval, I need to have
been there, done that.
enough strength to equip his actual sword, which I certainly don't have enough.
I said I am strong enough.
Oh, you're killing me. Want to risk a little bet?
I don't know how much I need, though. It might be like 40, 50, 60.
I've got no time for things
Agree
like
with you
that.
completely.
That was no big deal.
I bet I can handle your sword.
Been there,
Really?
done that.
How much should I relieve you of? Well, you look like a poor sucker. Let's make it 30 gold pieces. Do you even have that much?
I might not,
I used
honestly.
to say that myself.
Sure.
Let me see then.
I've got
Here.
no time for
All right, let's see how strong you
I'm
are.
staying out
I
of it.
can't wield this weapon.
That's what I'm saying. Now
been
give me
there,
back
done
my
that.
weapon.
Believe these days.
You just have to listen.
I think not.
What was that?
Oh,
I think I'm going to keep it a little longer.
Just you wait, you bastard.
Oh my.
Show him who's boss!
Hurt.
Hang on! Show him who's boss!
That hurt.
Attaboy!
So his sword needs
Sooner or later.
30 strength. I'm actually not that far off. I'm at 28. Huh. If I could just get an extra 2 points, you know, I could drink this elixir of strength, but again, it's like it's really not worth it to use these right now, but
Don't you try that again. All right, you win.
I used to say that myself.
I want to join.
So what about
Here's your sword.
high time?
I want to join.
Okay, you can fight. Most of the lads here think nothing of a little brawl. As far as I'm
Can you teach?
not a bad fighter, but that doesn't. Still, I think I.
alright, so I'm not. There's probably like 100 XP.
No big deal.
There's probably more XP if I were to do his actual, like, equipping his sword thing, but
There's more, believe me.
I don't want to spend more skill points
Can't rely on that.
on that. Loot with the jump key, eh? I remember that was a thing in the first game.
You didn't get that from me.
No
Does
idea.
does hitting the
Tell
jump
me.
key, does that move like 10 at a time as opposed to 1?
Don't say you didn't see that.
I couldn't care less.
I agree with you completely.
Hello, pretty girl.
Just where did you escape from?
No idea. You tell me.
Oh, there's a lot of dialogue here.
What I heard.
Like it's
Been there, done that.
that's the first obvious.
They say you are revolting against the king.
My father has decided that it's time we defended ourselves.
Again.
The militia never helped us anyway. They only came here to drag off our provisions.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
What kind of work is to be had here on the farm?
My father pays money to all the men who help defend the farm. Are you interested? You don't look like someone who has a passion for field labor.
How much does your father pay?
You'd have to negotiate that with him. All I know is that each mercenary here gets paid every day.
I've got my own opinion about that.
Are there any rules here that I should stick to?
You don't touch anything here that isn't yours. You stay away from the areas that are none of your business. And if you must pick a fight, stick to the mercenaries. If you start a brawl with the farmers, everybody here will be against you.
What's your job here?
I sell the goods that we produce. If you want to buy something, just let me know. But let me warn you, I won't stand for either haggling or stealing, understood?
I'm staying out of it.
Has anything significant happened lately?
A few days ago, my father decreed that we're no longer allowed to sell anything in town. So now I'm staying here on the farm and selling my wares to visitors only.
He wants to know.
Show me your wares.
What can I offer you?
There's more, believe
A
me.
whole lot of not much.
He thinks it's as
The apples are kind of nice. So I do need apples at some point for free strength.
It's all just gossip. Of course we got it true. That's been known a long time.
Doing all right?
Hey, I know you. From the colony. What do you want here?
Will it ever change?
I've come to join you.
Why not? I've got nothing against it. Anyway, you freed our mine from the guards back then. But don't count on getting along with the others here so easily. A lot of newbies have come along since then. And some of the old mercenaries won't remember you. I almost didn't recognize you. You look rather haggard.
When the barrier fell, I barely got away with my life.
Looks like you got lucky then.
I'm a little surprised there wasn't a line of dialogue to say like, hey, I remember you, you're that guy who sold me the crawler plate or whatever. Because most of the other NPCs from the first game, you've had that opportunity to do a little bit of catch up in case you didn't play the first game or simply forgot.
Can you teach me anything?
I can teach you a few tricks in handling a bow if you want. I don't have anything better to do right now anyway.
You have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennett, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now. In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow, I'm out of a job. I desperately need a new job, even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
You have to tell me that.
He really never deserved that.
His decision, wasn't it?
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city? Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Where do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I can just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform, and then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
Tell me that isn't true.
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
I couldn't care less.
Nothing amazes me.
So that'll be a thing for later. Surprisingly, there's no quest entry about that yet. There's nothing to like actually remind you that Wolf is looking for work. Cypher.
You didn't get that from me.
How are things?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible.
I used to deal in swamp weed back in the colony. Remember?
And what are you dealing in now?
Ah, don't ask. I brought a whole package of swamp weed with me from the mining colony. Many of the mercenaries like a little smoke now and then. I've earned a small fortune on the side, but some bastard stole all the weed from my chest. I'm pretty sure it was that Bodo. He bunks in the same room as me, and he always grins at me like such an idiot.
What are you going to do about the thief then?
One of these days, I'll catch him puffing away on my weed. And then, I'll find a quiet spot and teach him a lesson he won't forget. If I knock him down here in the middle of the yard, the other farmers will notice, and I'll pay an arm and a leg.
How come?
Quite simple. We can't rough up the farmers, otherwise Lee makes us pay a heavy fine. That's the way Onar wants it. And the more witnesses there are, the more of a fuss there is. That makes things more expensive. So I'll pull the thing off nice and inconspicuously.
I want to join Lee's people.
Lee's people? If Lee keeps on this way, they soon won't be his anymore.
Why?
Lee has always been a quiet one. It was that way in the colony, too. But lately, he's overdoing it. He just wants to sit here and wait until the paladins drop dead from starvation. Silvio thinks we should clean up a bit on the small farms and outside the city. I think that would make for an excellent change. At the moment, most of us are just twiddling our thumbs here. Do you want to join up anyway?
Where did you pick that up then?
He doesn't see that.
I want to become one of you no matter what.
You already know that we take a vote on every new recruit.
What are you hinting at?
Well, I haven't had anything to smoke in a long time. Bring me a few swampweed reefers and you got my vote. You can surely scare some up someplace.
Luckily, I think I already have plenty.
About the swampweed. Here's a few stalks for you.
Nice.
Oh, you are my man. You've got my vote.
Show me your wares.
Sure. Help yourself.
Sure. Willow bow for 20 dex and 25 damage. What do I have? Alright, so my bow supposedly is better. Bennett?
I do not sell any weapons. Khaled does. He's in the house with Onar.
What kinds of weapons do you make?
Plain swords at the moment, not much else. But if I had some magic ore, I could forge weapons that are better than all comparable weapons made from regular old steel. You wouldn't happen to know where to find some around here? Besides in the Valley of Mines, I mean.
No.
Of course not.
I do have a couple of lumps of ore.
Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries?
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
I was just curious.
Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons?
No.
Then why do you ask such stupid questions?
I want to join the mercenaries.
Stop blabbering then. Go to Torloff and let him put you to the test.
Can you teach me how to forge a sword?
Sure. That'll cost you a bit, though. Let's say 30 gold pieces.
I don't want to pay that.
Maybe later.
All that matters is strength. So don't tell me that. That's been
What about forging equipment?
What do you need?
Mercenaries belts. Not any better than my leather one unless I'm wearing mercenary armor. I don't have enough dexterity to steal from him. I think that's about all I can do with Bennett. Let's see what Hodges has to say.
Hello, I'm new here.
Don't take this the wrong
Yo,
way,
Bennett,
but
what
I'm
are
not
you
really
doing?
in the mood for conversation. I'm totally wrecked.
You're awfully busy, huh?
Oh dear.
You can say that again. Bennett makes so many weapons that I can hardly keep up with the polishing.
What can you tell me about the farm?
This is Onar's farm. That big building is his house. He vacated a wing for the mercenaries. We farmers have had to bunk in the barn ever since. But it's all right with me. It's good that we have people who guard the farm. The building here is the kitchen. Maybe you'll be lucky and Thekla will have something for you to eat.
What about the mercenaries?
Onar hired them to keep the city militia off our backs. But they also guard the farm, the sheep, and us farmers. So don't even think about stealing anything or rummaging around in somebody's chest. They're just waiting for a chance to knock you down.
Can I buy weapons from you?
I don't have much. We take almost all the swords and axes into Onar's house.
Yeah, it really doesn't have much. Let's see if Bennett will get unstuck.
Wait a
ever.
minute.
No, he'll just do that for eternity, basically.
I used to say that myself.
There's Thekla.
What are you doing here in my kitchen?
I want some of your stew.
I'm looking for work.
You want to work here on the farm? Only Onar can decide that. The farm is his, and so is the entire valley.
Who said that?
Actually, I was planning to join the mercenaries.
So you're another of those felons from the penal colony? I might have known. Just leave me alone. There's already enough of your kind around here.
Nobody ever asks.
I'm hungry.
I don't dish out food to tramps. I only feed people who work. And that mercenary riffraff, of course.
Something smells delicious here.
Oh, yes. I know the likes of you. They're swarming all over the place. First, they try to get on your good side, and then when you need them, they're nowhere to be seen.
I couldn't get away with that.
What's your problem with the mercenaries?
Ah, those morons really get on my nerves, especially Silvio and his fat buddy Bulco. The two of them have been sitting in their corner for days now, making life miserable for me. The soup's too hot, the meat's too tough, etc. and so forth.
Then why don't you do anything about it?
And what am I to do, Mr. Smarty Pants? Whack them with my rolling pin? I can do that to the farmers, but these lowly bastards just hit back.
Where did you pick that up then? That's totally obvious.
Want me to teach the two of them some manners?
You better not try that, honey. As far as I know, Silvio has magic armor. He can't be defeated.
And what about Bulco?
That guy is as strong as an ox. So far, he has flattened anyone who tried to mess with him or Silvio.
I need a place to sleep.
Don't even think about sleeping in my kitchen. Go find yourself a place in the barn.
I thought she was supposed to have a quest to send me to, like, find a special type of herb or something for her stew. But I'm not getting that quest.
Sooner or later.
As for the quick saving, whoops. Yeah, I know about the any setting, but I've run into issues where I've had save files get corrupted.
That's all just gossip.
Because like the game will sometimes crash randomly, and if that happens during a save file, then I completely lose that save file. So I'm like just kind of rotating 3 what I'm calling quick save slots, so that way in case one of them gets corrupted, I'll have another one from a few minutes ago to fall back to. Because I'm gonna have to be making hard saves frequently to avoid that. In fact, I haven't done one since I got to the mercenary camp.
Nobody ever
Nothing amazes me anymore.
That was no big deal.
That's
hardly know what's a problem.
Like, is there a way that
Can
can I do with the quick save? Can I save that into multiple slots like that? Because I don't know that I trust quick saving into a single slot over and over again.
that's all just gossip.
Hey, you!
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
Right. What do you want?
Yeah, see, that's...
I could have told you that. Of course we got him in the end.
Yeah.
There's more, believe me.
Nobody ever asks. Of course we got him in the end.
But it's kind of like if I'm gonna have to save into a different slot every couple minutes anyway, I feel like
They're all just rumors.
I would still have to be doing what I'm doing.
There, done that.
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. 2 factions are building up amongst us mercenaries. Silvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
Because I did already have my top quick save slot get corrupted, and I lost like an hour of gameplay because I hadn't saved into a different slot in a while, so like that's why I'm being so diligent about saving into different slots constantly.
Things I could tell you.
Anything's possible.
And I feel like if I were to just have a quick save button
Things I could
and I
tell
just
you.
do that, it would be really easy to forget to switch into a different save file, you know?
How come there are 2 factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then, but some of the mercenaries hooked up with us later.
Been there, done that.
They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the Yorks. Somehow they got wind that Lee needed people. Their leader was Silvio. He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him and his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Silvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
Yeah, I'm running, I've got the 2.6 update, the player kit system pack, and DX11 updates, and it crashes for me every so often. I've got it on Windows 7 right now, and like I did have the game froze on me maybe 30 minutes ago, somewhere around there. It wasn't like a full crash, but the game just froze and stopped responding to me. But every now and then I do get some random crash where I get an access violation, or like a memory leak or something happens and the game shuts down, or I've had a couple of things where like a speech file randomly doesn't get loaded correctly and then the game crashes and says it can't access the speech file. It's very bizarre.
He really should have known better.
But like the game runs a lot smoother with all of those updates and things than it does completely vanilla, because running it vanilla I get just terrible, abysmal performance, like 9 frames a second running around the harbor of Corinus. And so ironically, turning on the DX11 patch makes the game run a hell of a lot better, even though it becomes more physically, or not physically, it becomes more technically demanding.
Things I could tell you.
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
Lee wants us to wait and starve the paladins in the city.
Can't rely on that.
He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here. I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust him. He's led us well so far.
Do you know what Silvio is planning?
Silvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony. He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here, and wants to take advantage of the situation. Plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that. But Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
I want to become a mercenary.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Where's the problem?
Well, I either have to vote for you or against you. And in the situation we're in, I'll only vote for you if I can be sure that you're on Lee's side.
That's totally obvious.
So what should I do?
Simple. Beat up a few of Silvio's boys. That way both sides will know exactly where you stand. And if you stick to the rules for a duel, you'll even win the respect of the others.
What are the rules for a duel?
Go to Torloff and let him explain it if you're interested. Just so we understand each other. I don't care if you stick to the rules or not, just as long as the boys wind up out cold in the mud.
Which of the mercenaries are Silvio's men?
There are 6 men. First of all, Silvio himself and his right-hand man, Bulko. Then there's Rod, Sentenza, Fester, and Raoul. The rest of the people are either neutral or on Lee's side.
So it sounds like I've already gotten
I used to say that myself.
Rod, Fester, and Raoul. And the other 3 are going to be really tough.
Been there, done that.
How many of Silvio's people should I defeat?
If you knock 3 of them to the ground, then you've
Oh,
proven
good.
which side
I've
you're
already
on.
done that, then.
Whom you choose is your business. Just one little hint. This isn't about proving your courage. Don't go up against Silvio himself. He'll make mincemeat out of you.
I have had success in previous playthroughs beating up Bulko, but I think I had to use some really devious tactics like ice block spells or something to freeze him in place. I don't think I can fight him normally.
How many of Silvio's men are still on my list? Rod looks a little worse for the wear. Fester tried to take me for a ride. That was his mistake. I went to see Raoul,
and
he was badly in need of a proper licking.
That's enough. That's enough. I'm impressed. If Lee asks me, I can vote for you without hesitation.
I've got no time for things like that.
Cool.
He should have known if anybody ever asked for my opinion.
31, 33. So this is where I can get a little bit of dialogue with Silvio.
It has
Here we
come
go.
to my attention that you have it in for my boys.
Oh,
And as far as I know, you're one of Lee's protégés. I'm warning you, a few things are going to be different around here soon, and we'll talk about this again then.
Thekla has a problem with you.
So, what is the dear lady's problem? And why doesn't she come herself?
You know that damn well.
Why don't you go discuss that with my friend Bulko for a while?
I will. And he's probably gonna fight me.
What do you think of Lee?
Oh, he's a good fighter. I wouldn't ever want to pick a fight with him. Unless, of course, it couldn't be avoided.
Silvio doesn't like being talked to. You might have gathered as much by now.
Yep. Yeah. I
Let
knew
that
was
be a
gonna
lesson
happen.
to him.
I might not have a choice with Bulko.
It has come and is up.
Where did you pick that up then? We need to talk, you and I.
What do you want?
I think the best thing would be if you didn't show your face on the farm anymore. See to it that you're gone by tomorrow. We understand each other.
How about no?
He doesn't even know how to hold a sword.
The two of us should have a chat.
I wouldn't know about what.
I'm not going to leave here.
I guess we're gonna have to...
Watch out!
Ouch! That hurt.
Let that be a lesson to him.
Sometimes I just can't get that side swipe off fast enough.
Yeah, he really said that.
And once again, the music is not turning on.
He should have known.
I really hate it when it does that, because it's just so boring without the music. What exactly are you? Mouse 1 and then the other way? Yeah, I know that that'll block.
You have to feel sorry for the poor guy.
No one really wants to hear that.
But no, he insisted he knew better. I agree with you completely.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion. Of course we got him in the end.
I agree with you completely.
But he knew that all along.
You just have to listen.
I already thought as much.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
He doesn't even
What the?
know how to
My,
hold
oh
his
god.
sword.
Sure got no time for things like that.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
I used to say that myself.
That's been known a long time.
I thought as much. That's the first I've heard of it.
It's hard to believe these days. That's been known a long time.
No idea. You tell me. It has come and it's
We need to talk, you and I. I think...
Put down that weapon. See? That wasn't so hard.
I'm not.
Put away that weapon.
The problem is, I don't have like any range. And so, most of the time, I just end up missing those attacks. I mean, maybe if I switch to the dexterity
No idea.
sword.
You tell me.
which I think has a little bit better range.
It is kind of I'm
Hey, you!
We need to.
What do you want?
I think the.
I'm not.
Don't say you didn't know that.
Exactly what I said. That's not what I heard.
What is he doing?
Who said that? Put down that weapon! See? That wasn't so hard.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
Put away that weapon.
See, and now, like, these guys are gonna attack
Smart
me
kid.
because they think I'm drawing my weapon at them, even though I'm in a fight with Bolko.
Put down that weapon!
But because Bolko is
Put
glitched,
away
I
that
just
weapon.
I can't
Smart kid.
do anything.
Put down that weapon!
Here we go.
Smart
He
kid.
might be stuck on another table.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
That will never change.
Finish him!
Let him have it.
Let that be a lesson
Not
to him.
bad.
No idea. You tell me. It has come and it's up.
Hey, you!
We need.
What?
I think.
I'm not.
I guess we're gonna
I
have
still
to
have
discuss
the,
this again.
No idea. You tell me. It has come and it's up.
Hey, you!
We.
What?
I think.
I'm not going.
Put away that weapon. Will you put away that damn weapon? You asked for it.
What the? See, these guys are all
You
ganging
should
up
have
on
listened
me.
here. Let that be a
I'm
lesson to you.
I'm done with this. It's not worth my time. I know that I can beat everybody up with like perfect timing and everything, but it just takes
No idea. You tell
too
me.
much time with how little damage I do per hit and so on, and it's just then getting all of them to aggro me, just that's not worth it. Once again, I have to leave that area to be able to get the music to trigger again.
You just have to listen.
Right now, I've been speccing dexterity to get all of the thieving skills. I think I'm going to join the paladins, and I may or may not go a little bit hybrid and learn some of their runes, because I don't think I've ever played Knight of the Raven as a paladin before. Usually I like to join the mercenaries because they feel the most at home, because like a lot of them are from the colony in the first game, and I really like sticking with Lee and like familiar faces and so on. But I've played as a mercenary and dragon hunter probably the most, so I don't think I want to do that for this playthrough.
No one really wants to hear
That's not what I heard.
What do you want from me?
That's the first I've heard of it.
Same old thing all over.
What are the rules for a duel?
Quite simple. Both opponents have to have the opportunity to draw their weapons before the first blow. You can't just go and belt one of the men without warning. There has to be some sort of spoken challenge, an insult, or another reason to fight. None of the other men will interfere in a fight like that, unless one of the two gets killed in the duel.
That's no secret.
Are you talking about like saving. I'm aware that the cost to train skill points goes up until eventually it starts costing 5, and I've been holding off on using elixirs and eating apples and mushrooms and things like that until after I hit that kind of soft level cap. Is that what you're talking about?
That's all just gossip.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Oh, and why do you think I should be in favor of you being accepted here?
Do you really believe that?
You have to step in.
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
No.
Then what are you blathering at me for?
That's all
Nobody
just
ever asked
gossip.
for my opinion.
That will never change.
All that matters is strength. So don't
Can you help me improve my abilities?
I could show you how to use your strength better in close combat. A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity and ranged weapons.
Is it really true?
Oh, because that way they're still only charging the old value. Yeah.
It's a bad business. It's a bad business. Will it ever change? Nobody will learn anything if this is
Gonna change.
No one really wants to hear that.
I want to improve my ability.
That's not what I heard.
I thought as much.
You can't rely on it.
It's a bad business. You hardly know
Thought
what
about
these
touching
days.
that.
Yeah, right now I've been kind of rushing dexterity to try to get that master sword as soon as possible. I haven't put any points into strength at all. That 28 is just from rings and belts and amulets and so on. So I've learned sneak, block, pickpocketing, trained one-handed combat to 30%. Obviously, you don't need to learn sneak because you can kind of exploit the AI by just jumping places, but that looks stupid, and I just don't like doing that. So I think I'll just go ahead and drop another 5 points into dexterity
I want to improve
now.
Good. Now you can use your abilities better.
Tell me that isn't true. You don't even know how to hold a sword. That's been known a long time.
I've never really felt like learning the animal trophies was that worth it. I mean, I know you can sell them to Bosper for a lot of money, but...
Hey, where do you think you're going?
To the house, of course.
Onar pays us not to let guys like you in here.
I want to talk to Lee.
What do you want from him? Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Fresh cannon fodder. Then go on in. Lee's in the right wing. Don't even think about wandering around anywhere else. But above all, leave Onar alone. He doesn't like it when people talk to him without being asked. Especially not guys like you.
Yeah, and if I remember right, there's a trick to get acrobatics at 60 dexterity if you if you have like belts and rings and amulets equipped at 59 dexterity and then train to 60, then the game thinks you have 90, and then you can get acrobatics like way sooner than normal.
Of course we got him in the end.
I don't remember like if 90 is what you need to be able to pickpocket like the hardest targets in the game, or if it's 100 or 120 or something like that.
Who the devil let you in here? What are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
What makes you think that?
Gorn told me it was you who brought down the barrier.
Yes, that was me, all right.
I never would have thought that a man could survive something like that. What brings you here? You aren't here without a reason.
I'm no better off myself.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Gorn told you about me? What happened to him?
You remember him, don't you?
It had to happen sooner or later.
Yeah, so Gorn was another guy from the first game. He's one of the few really friendly NPCs that helps you out a lot, so he's a good friend.
Sure.
He got caught by the Paladins and was sent back to the Valley of Mines with a penal convoy. If the road to the Valley of Mines wasn't plastered with Paladins and Orcs, I'd have sent a couple of the boys already to free him. But the way things are, there's no point. Poor devil.
I want to join you.
I'd hope you say that. I can use every able man here. The last mercenaries I accepted have done nothing but stir up trouble. In principle, you can start right away. Well, first there's one or two things we need to get straight, but it's no big deal.
Yeah, I know that the shrines, you can get free stat upgrades and things if you donate 100 gold. And I know that the rewards are different depending on which faction you join, but I'm not 100% on, like, if you can cap out, like, you can get upgrades before you join a faction, but I don't know if you can get, like, 10 upgrades before joining a faction and then 10 more after joining a faction. That I'm not sure about.
What do I have to get straight before I can join you?
Onar, the landowner, is the one who employs us. You can only stay on the farm with his approval. And then there's the boys. I can only accept you if a majority of the mercenaries agree that you join us. But don't go to Onar before everything is straightened out. He's a very impatient fellow.
How can I convince the mercenaries to vote me in?
By doing what is expected of you as a mercenary, I should say. Talk to Torloff. He's usually outside in front of the house. He'll put you to the test. If you can pass that, you should have earned a large part of the necessary respect. He'll tell you everything else you need to know.
So does that mean that there is, like, a hard cap of how many upgrades you can get total from that, and that, say, if I were to do untrained or guildless for so many times, that would leave fewer upgrades I could get once I do join a camp? Or a guild, I should say. Faction, whatever.
What do you know about the Ring of Water?
I might have known. You just have to mingle in everything, don't you?
Come on, tell me.
I'm only marginally involved in this. I know that this secret guild exists here and that the water mages are behind it. Since the fall of the barrier, I am no longer bound to the agreement I came to with the water mages back then. Of course, I still help when I can, but most of the time, I have my own problems and barely any time for other things. If you want to know more about it, you should probably talk to Cord. He's one of them, as far as I know.
Now, is there a way to determine what you'll get when you pray? Because, like, is that a random thing, or they'll just give you one of the different things each time, or what?
What exactly?
Quite simple. I'm gonna see to it that we all get off this island. Onar hired us to defend his farm, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But our reward is more than just our pay. By helping the farmers, we cut the city off from its provisions. And the less the paladins have to eat, the sooner they'll listen when I finally make them an offer of peace.
What is your offer going to look like?
Essentially, it will be about our pardons and free passage to the mainland. You'll learn more when the time comes.
So you only get the upgrade when you donate 100 gold. And then it's just random what they give you. And so you can just save scum to get what you want each time.
I absolutely must talk to the paladins in town. Can you help me get to them?
What's your business with the paladins?
That's a long story.
I've got time.
Zardoz sent me on a mission. He wants me to obtain a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos.
So you're still allied to that necromancer. I see. And the paladins have this amulet?
As far as I know, yes.
I can help you get to the paladins, but first you need to become one of us.
How can you help me get to the paladins?
Trust me, I've got a plan. I think you're the right man for it. I'll take you to the paladins, and you'll do me a favor. But first, join us.
Is it really true?
Now the other thing is, do you need to go to a different shrine each time? Or can you just pass time? Oops. Can you just pass time and then go back to a previous shrine?
The things I could tell you.
You listen to the wrong people. I'm not telling you anything new.
Pick that up then.
You just have to listen.
Really true. I'd have gone about it differently.
I've heard a thing or two. Got my own opinion about that.
That's really not my problem.
Hey, I think I can now steal simple tasks. That's cool.
Better off myself.
You have to step in. It can't go on like this forever.
How's it going?
The militia has bullied us long enough. Now that the mercenaries are on our side, they won't dare to just show up here anymore. The king may think he can get away with anything, but we're not going to take it anymore.
Everything you hear.
Is it really true? Yeah, he really said that.
Cypher told me somebody stole a package of swamp weed from him.
And?
He thinks you're the one who took it.
Oh, that's why the guy is always gawping at me so stupidly. I've been extra friendly to him lately because he seems to have hit a rough spot. But there was nothing I could do. I'd look at him friendly-like, and he'd stare at me like he wanted to kill me.
I never knew that.
I can't believe nobody ever asked for my opinion.
That's all he just got to hold a sword.
You have to step in.
Now my concern with doing the praying at shrines and things is usually I like to try to save those free stat upgrades for later after I've gotten up to 120 or whatever, when it starts costing a whole lot. Is it more economical to get those now and then you know, just get them now while you can?
All that matters is strength. So don't tell me that.
And I guess I would have to if I am gonna join the militia.
Would have thought of that himself.
I never knew that. It can't go on like this forever.
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
He said you would help me.
Fine. So here we go. There are two things you have to do before you can join us. First, you have to prove that you're capable of mastering the tasks that you will have to fulfill as a mercenary. I'll put you to the test. And second, you have to earn the respect of the other mercenaries.
That's been going on a long time.
Enough trouble as it is.
Well, how can I earn the respect of the other mercenaries?
For most of them, it'll be enough if you fulfill your task and pass my test. But you'll have to find some other way of convincing some of them. Some will try and exploit your situation, and others may not like your mug. You should try to get along with as many of the boys as possible. But if nothing else helps, then you can always take part in a duel. If you win, you'll earn the respect of most of them. But watch out that you don't kill one of them by accident, because then you'll have a big problem.
Yeah, thanks for all that help. Take care. Catch you later.
What about you? Will you vote me in?
If you can prove that you can fulfill the duties of a mercenary, yes.
Tell me that isn't true.
What are my duties as a mercenary?
Onar hired us for two reasons. He wants us to keep the militia off his back, and he wants us to keep things in order on his farms. That includes collecting the rent when the small farmers won't pay. So, what'll it be?
I'm not telling you anything new.
I know that getting the rent is way easier, but I think they respect you more if you deal with the militia.
I never knew that.
So I don't know if that gives like an XP difference, but I want more XP.
I never knew that.
Let's go deal with the militia.
I'll deal with the militia, don't worry.
The farmer Bengar has complained that lately the militia from the city has been getting on his nerves. They're pressuring the farmer, probably trying to make him break with Onar. I want you to go to his farm and make it clear to the militia that they have no business there. Questions?
How can I find Bengar's farm?
In the southwest of the valley is a big stairway that leads to a high plain. That's where Bengar's farm is. If you get lost, ask the farmers in the fields how to find your way around the area.
I think earlier I might have called Bengar Berengar. which might be a character from The Witcher? Maybe? Berengar is a name of somebody in some game.
How's my reputation among the mercenaries?
Let's see. Wolf says he has nothing against you joining. Jarvis thinks you're on the right side. Cypher says that for him it was crystal clear that you'd get to join. Something seems to have made him really happy. You seem to have convinced Rod that you're strong enough. Sentenza will vote for you. He says you were a very reasonable man. I don't need to say anything about Silvio and Bolko. Those two morons are against everyone. Buster says you're okay. The rest of the mercenaries haven't said anything. Most of them are just waiting to see if you pass the test. At any rate, you won some fair duels already. You're far from done, kid. If you want us to accept you, you'll have to do something for it.
So that kind of makes it sound like I've done just about everything I can except for doing Torloff's test.
That's all just gossip. Nothing amazes me anymore.
He really should have known better.
Things I...
No one really wants to do that.
The weed package, I believe. This guy... I think Dar might have stolen it. And this guy's obviously standing around smoking all the time.
That's never going to change that. Nothing amazes me anymore.
Cypher told me that someone stole a package of swamp weed from him. Would you know anything about that?
No.
No one really wants.
Where's the package?
What do I know?
Why haven't I heard about this before?
Where's the package?
What do I know?
Where's the package?
What do I know?
That's a fun little exchange.
What are you smoking there?
Want a toke?
All over again.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Sure.
Do you really think change that?
Is it really true? Easy as that.
Not bad, huh?
Where did you get the stuff?
Nobody will learn anything from me. You should have asked me that.
I have my sources.
People.
So the FOV is all like widened out and kind of warping because of the swamp weed.
I should have known.
But then there's a couple camera angles where it didn't do that, and that was a little weird.
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Not at the moment.
No one really wants to do
I want to join the mercenaries. Do you mind?
Who cares?
I'm staying out of
To
it.
the wrong people.
Where's the package?
What do I know?
That was
So
no
I
big
think I
deal.
just have to beat it out of him, as the dialogue says.
I'll knock it out of you.
Relax, I'm way too stoned to fight with you. Here, first take a big toke.
That's wait to see more trouble.
Just you.
I'm not doing anything on you.
I used to say that myself.
Let's wait and see what happens.
I've got no time for things like that.
That'll cause more trouble.
I've got no time for
That's
things
all
like
just
that.
gossip. I wouldn't have done that. You never would have thought.
Oh, yep, there's pressing that jump button just takes like everything.
Do you really think? Out who these tell what?
Been there, done that.
Well, we'll see the next time.
Hey, you!
I never knew that.
Where's the package?
Okay. I sold it to some bum in town. It was at the harbor. I can't remember what he looked like.
Could it be that you need another thrashing?
Honest, man, I was totally stoned. I don't have the slightest idea what the guy looked like. It was at the harbor near the boat builders. That's all I can remember.
At the boat builders. Not readily remembering who or what that is. I think the guy Brokar or whatever outside the brothel
Hey, you!
deals in swamp weed.
I know who took your weed.
Who? Was it that Bodo?
No, one of the mercenaries did it. Dar.
That bastard. Where is he?
Finding him won't help you. He doesn't have the package anymore. He sold it in Corinus.
Where is he?
Behind the kitchen building on the corner.
I'll flatten him.
That'll be pretty easy because I already weakened him substantially. He has no weapon, maybe not even any health. Yeah. See, that was really easy.
You poor sucker. You didn't even have any gold on you.
What? Where are you going? Cypher? What? I'm stuck in dialogue, but Cypher is walking
Well, we'll see
away.
the next time.
So maybe the dialogue window will come up when he gets back to his normal spot.
Can't rely on that.
Let's wait and see what happens.
If it doesn't, I might be stuck here and have to.
Say that myself.
Might have to kill the game. He's not even going to his normal spot. Where? Oh, maybe he is, and he just took a really roundabout way to get there.
As if I didn't have enough problems.
Nope. Oh, hey, it did come up. Sweet. I got really worried there for a second.
I've got my own opinion about that.
Hey! Hey!
You really gave Dar what for? Are you feeling better now?
Yeah, that felt good.
Not to him, I suppose.
The little beggar has no business going through my chest.
All right.
Nobody will know anything from me.
You just have to listen.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
I kind of want to just talk to a few people
I've
here.
heard a thing or two.
Everything fine with you?
So, you want to join us then? Do you even have a decent weapon?
You know, it's all right.
What weapons do you have to offer?
Only the best. Just take a look at them.
You got a whole bunch of strength weapons and two-handed weapons.
I knew that all along.
None of which I can really use. Dragon bow, I think, might be the best bow in the game.
Sort things out.
That needs 160 dex.
That's been enough trouble.
That's a lot of dexterity.
You just have to listen.
I can use the hunting bow. I don't want to spend the money on it. I don't have any money right now.
Would you mind if I joined you?
Trouble as it is.
Once you have passed the test, I shall vote for you.
Anything from me.
How did you end up with the mercenaries?
I came with Silvio from the south. We belong to an army of mercenaries which fought against the orcs.
It can't go on like this forever.
What's your opinion of Silvio?
He's a dangerous fella, and many of the mercenaries who came with him this far listen to what he says. Better not pick a fight with him.
What's your opinion of Lee?
I think that the only thing Lee is really interested in is getting away from this island. He wants to go to the mainland. Seems to have a bone to pick with someone there. At any rate, he does a far better job than Silvio ever could. Moreover, he's a good leader. Most of the time, we can do whatever we want here.
Is it really true?
Got my own opinion about that.
Who let you in here? What are you doing here on my farm?
I want to buy a sheep.
I want to buy a sheep.
What are you doing here then? See a sheep anywhere? If you want to buy a sheep, go out to the pasture. It's to the right of my house. Have Pepe sell you one.
Everything all right here on the farm?
I don't see how that's any of your business. You don't belong on the farm.
I want to work for you.
I don't need a farmhand right now. My people see to everything else. You have no business here in the house, so get out.
You're revolting against the city, or so I've heard.
Now listen up. I inherited this farm and this land from my father, and he inherited it from his father. I'm not going to allow that greedy imbecile of a king to make off with all that just in order to feed his useless armies. The war with the orcs has been going on forever. And where do we stand? On the edge of defeat. No, I prefer to defend my farm myself. The money that I save this way can pay for my own army.
Alright, I feel like some of these dialogue options are taking a little bit longer to come up than they should. And I wonder if that's because the engine is getting like the memory leak. So I'm gonna shut the game down and reboot it here. Whoops, wrong button.